Yesterday, when Bakago and his men returned from negotiations, they found the two bodies. Bakago was pissed off and raging, kicking and punching walls in frustration. They had managed to make a good food trade for the hostage with the rival gang. But now he was dead, and so was Bakago's most loyal man. As Project Premium 2 earlier decided, he told them that it was someone from a rival gang likely, and that he didn't know details. Bakago is suspicious of this explanation, but kept his suspicion under the surface for now. Project Premium had a goal and an intention to kill every NPC in the plot, but ended up not going through with it. Rebeck said, "Damn, Project Premium 2 is quite violent. Could be useful if we're in a mission, but I'd probably steer clear." Mal said, "Oh what? Lemmy probably gonna get the other gang members on us if he ain't careful enough read the mission he went on." "Oh Jesus. Yeah, I see what you mean." Rebeck said, "Probably gonna get the other gang members on us if he ain't careful enough." Mal said, "Yeah, if we vote him out later though we could be able to make amends." Rebeck said, "True, it's better to make alliances with the NPCs than enemies." Golem said, "Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. We vote him off as sacrifice. Could help the story." Mal said, "I'm down if we end up losing the scribble." Rebeck said, "Yeah, I'd say so. Looking at his profile too. He isn't in the post-game chat for last season, so he might be new." Today it will be Tribe Night Stalker's time to go vote someone out. During the night, various members of this tribe went on their own solo quests. All of them started from the mansion, as established. Fist was timid. He wanted to go and see the city streets below. He traveled to the ground level of the skyscraper with an elevator and at the lobby. He saw a few robot guards that greeted him. As he walked to the street, he saw the tall futuristic skyscrapers towering the view above with air traffic between them above him. They were flying small vehicles, robots. Normal citizens are not allowed outside at night. The president and his team/family is an exception. He also noticed a train track above him between the buildings. Next, Space Wolf traveled down the skyscraper with the elevator, down to the basement level. Inside the armory, he collected stuff. This includes a katana, an electric gun, and a futuristic samurai armor. The armor is a full-body one and has built-in systems such as a goon machine, heating/cooling, a hologram that opens from the wrist with an AI inside, and built-in weapons. During his mission from his hologram device, he catched President Yamamoto's spontaneous drunken broadcast to the people of Japan. Yamamoto said, "And here I am eating grapes and drinking Jack Daniels in the skies above all of you." His son Gelisamoto came to shut down the broadcast to the office. Space Wolf rolled his eyes and said, "Oh, what a drunk bastard, such a loony." He then accidentally launched a weapon using the hologram device, which caused a weapon to rise from his shoulder and fire at the wall. Robots came to check on him. A robot asked, "Is everything all right, sir?" Space Wolf said, "Yes, perfectly fine, thanks, robot boy." A robot said, "Very well, sir. Good night, sir." Then he took his new stuff and traveled back upstairs to sleep, checking that Button was fine before heading to bed. Next, Win went to explore the city. He left the president's skyscraper and walked the street to the shopping mall, where residents can use their credit to buy things. He met a guard robot at the door and was let in due to his status. Inside, they found a large hall opening with stores at the sides. He went into the VR store. Inside, he found purchasable VR experiences such as Waifu Girlfriend VR Experience, Husbando Daddy VR Experience, Brainrot Fest VR 7.9, and purchasable VR avatars. They were on display through hologram devices, where you could add your details in and buy it. He also found devices that is like suit that turns the user into a hologram or an avatar. Most of them were anime character ones. However, there are laws regulating what you can use as an avatar or wear. Robot avatars are highly illegal. However, Yamamoto and his family, have no regulations. Win stole the device, planning to use it later as a disguise. Upon leaving, he spotted a store with a certain drug being sold inside. It is a highly addictive drug that calms the user down and numbs them. He then left back to the mansion on the skyscraper. Space Wolf woke up and said, "I am beyond grave. Bust nut in water tower. Next mission, it poisons our enemies." It's been going good so far. I honestly think we'll be safe from elimination for a long time. And if not, we have some buffer with Fong. I honestly feel good with how we're doing so far. The worst part is actually that exactly. The more I get comfortable, the more I forget this won't last. Space Wolf said, "Who are you voting for?" TG Mid said, "Faye. Hasn't done jack crap." Then Space Wolf created an alliance with Lean. Space Wolf said, "Hello Sir Lean, who are you planning on voting?" Lean said, "Definitely Faye. I don't think they've been active." Space Wolf said, "Which I agree with that. Not seen them active once yet." Lean said, "I say we unite against Win and TG, but we might need to turn Win against TG or the other way around. Because if they're together for the next vote, after we get Faye out, it'll be even." Space Wolf said, "Yeah, that's a good idea, but are you going to screw me over like last season?" Lean said, "I promise I will not. The only reason I had to betray the Goon Cult was so I could team up with Gerald." Space Wolf said, "Good, I might be able to turn TG against Win, because I had a good alliance with TG last season." Lean said, "Sure, I just realized we're fine if we don't vote, why not? Loki, let's just do TG for this vote." Then the elimination reveal happened, and turned out that Faye and TG Mid were tied, and will compete in Scribble. Lean and Space Wolf had voted TG Mid Win, and TG Mid had voted Faye, while Faye had not voted. TG Mid said, "Guys, come on. I'm not stupid. Faye hasn't said a single word." Lean said, "You know shit, that's why we voted them." TG Mid said, "After last season, I know Wolf wouldn't vote for me, at least not without heavy persuasion. You could argue that Faye did, but I also voted Faye. No matter the way you slice it, one of y'all trying to get me out." Lean said, "Faye did not vote, gang. Let's be real. It's Win. He and Space are together. He's not just gonna out himself, gang." TG Mid said, "So wouldn't you? I mean, lying is a clear way out. I'm not saying I don't believe you. I'm just saying I don't trust both of y'all right now." Win said, "I voted for Faye." Lean said, "So did I." TG Mid said, "Well, I voted for Faye, so like." Faye refused to play his match of Scribble, meaning the tie broke and he got voted out, while TG Mid remained in the game. Faye has died of a cocaine overdose. Faye refused to play his match of Scribble, meaning the tie broke and he got voted out, while TG Mid remained in the game. Faye has died of a cocaine overdose. Porter said, "So, we're likely not going to have to vote for a while if Cola continues to allow me to play Scribble twice." Cheesy said, "Let's pray," crying emoji. Porter said, "I've been round the block a couple of times and I can say one thing for certain. The tribe that's the closest to each other during the merge tends to do exceptionally well. If we all hold hands, sing Kumbaya, and don't betray each other, this is the top 4. On merge day, we'll try to forge alliances with a few weak members of other tribes." Nick asked, "Do you have any tactic how to play now?" Porter said, "We keep playing Scribble. We stick with each other as a full group." Nick said, "Okay, I trust you the most." Then the Scribble matches of today were played, which determined that Tribe Night Stalkers would go vote again on day 4.